Yeah, for
this
sure.
massive
Oh yeah, this is wild.
data breach that is now for sale, which apparently holds private information of over 1 billion Chinese people.
Yeah, so what happened was a guy, a Chinese netizen, for $200,000 bounty. This was like 10 Bitcoin.
Yeah.
$200,000 bounty, which is not crazy.
No.
Put up an alleged leak of 1 billion. So the majority, I would say that the other 400 million people are probably kids that don't have massive online presence or identities or seller history, buyer history on Taobao, things like that. But of presumed personal details of everyone. Yeah. Literally everyone.
No, before you continue, a lot of people might think, how is that even possible? You have to understand how China operates. With their Generation 5 ID cards and beyond, have all got chips in them, RFID. Yeah. When you buy a train ticket, when you do anything, you have to present that card and scan it. You got to pay for a fine, a traffic fine or something. All the machines have ID card readers, and you tap your ID card on there. It has all of your information
and your face.
Yeah, it's got your face. It comes up on the screen. It's got all the information tied to you, like like your social credit score. It's got your
current. Yeah, like because people change. Like for example, if you use the West as an example, people move all the time. They get like new what's it called, registrations for their cars, all that kind of stuff. But in China, it's constantly updated because it's tied to your hukou and your Gen 5 ID.
And it's centralized.
It's centralized.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
So when you take your card, your ID
there's
card,
no provincial ID.
Yeah, it's centralized. It's also centralized from the point of view of here you've got the DMV, and it's different to the Social Security, and it's different to this and that,
state.
and the state stuff. So it's not all kind of, you don't get all the information.
No.
Because you'd have to go to the DMV to find out like what cars are registered to you, for instance. But that
imagine having it all.
It's all kind of, everything's tied. Not only that, but of course your online presence is tied to that. And so there are massive central databases which have to be ready to be accessed by all these different departments.
Right.
So when somebody scans their card, it has to query the database to get all the personal information about that person, right? So that's why it's feasible that 1 billion people could be compromised, because all you would need is access to these central databases.
Correct.
And it could be outdated, it could be new, it doesn't matter, but a backup of this or whatever, a cloud leak or whatever the case it might be. But these central databases do exist, and that's why it's possible that this is legitimate.
Yeah. Did anyone pay the bounty yet?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I reckon world governments would easily pay that.
Yeah, maybe the Five Eyes should club together and pay the dude.
Chip
in, we'll chip in.
They definitely don't have enough money.
No, exactly. Yeah, they should do it.
200 grand is a bit rich.
I don't know, like a telemarketing company could do it.
Oh my gosh, think about
get
that.
A lot, yeah.
Oh, dude, they would pay 200 million for that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, I mean, of course the Chinese government's going out there and saying, oh, it's not real.
Yeah.
But they would say.
Oh yeah, so I talked to a person, actually it was a Chinese tech dude about this, who actually put me onto this a few days ago when this happened. Mm-hmm. And I was asking him questions over Patreon about it, and he's telling me how it initially would have caused massive waves. And the reason being is that China is now doing this bizarre projection bullshit where they're saying that their internet privacy laws are actually better than the West, which is absolute insanity. It's like clown world delusions.
It is.
Right? It's like you have someone in a frickin' straitjacket smashing their head against a padded wall because they forgot their medicine level crazy. Yeah. But what they've done is successfully actually pay tech magazines and newspapers to spread this idea that China's new alleged formats of how they're going to do people's online privacy and people's online identity, and hiding it and being able to protect their rights through legal recourse is better than other countries. And it really actually, I felt like I was being slapped in the face with a crazy fish or something. Sure. Because I just couldn't believe what I was reading. But they were doing this. They were writing op-eds. They were taking out ads. They were, how it's capitalism, right? You can pay anybody to run something for you. Sure. I wish I put some of this in here. There's I don't remember which tech stuff it was. Your big tech blogs and magazines, things like this, right? Yeah. So it actually carried over into the domestic internet. They were putting out these Chinese language articles about how China's internet privacy is actually better. And people in China were buying it. And then when something like this happens, I mean, that's like, it's the polar opposite, right? It's everything that's been leaked about everyone. Yeah. And I've to this day not seen China be so on top of something. They wiped it clean. You couldn't get anything past the censors about this. You couldn't find any information about it at all.
Completely gone. Yeah.
It was wiped.
Of course.
And again, I think it's great to tie this back to the just disgusting stuff that's being posted about Japan right now online and how that's allowed to proliferate.
Yes.
And China can always be, oh, it's just some people. We can't have no control over what people say. Absolutely bullshit.
Yeah. They can literally get rid of anything. They can shut down discussions. They can shut down entire services like Weibo. If something they don't like is going on, it's just boom, it's gone.
It's an off switch.
They can make it so nobody can post anything for like 24 hours or like whatever. They can do whatever they want. So when you see something gaining traction on the Chinese internet, it's because it's being allowed to gain traction. And usually what happens is when it gets out of control, that's when they step in and they're like, wait, this is making us look bad. So let's just pretend that it's a couple of bad eggs and let's just kind of silence people for a bit, and we'll let them come back later. They're doing what we want them to do, so we're not going to like block them or anything.
No, absolutely not.
So you got to bear that in mind when it comes to this stuff. Anyway, the fact of the matter with this whole thing is, from our own personal experience, internet privacy is not something that people take seriously in China.
No.
In fact, if you install WeChat on your phone, it wants access not only to your microphone, your camera, and all of that stuff indiscriminately. But access to your bank accounts, your contact lists, and all this other stuff. Yeah. Because you end up doing everything through your WeChat.
That's
so
correct.
You pay your electricity bill, your gas bill, you pay at your restaurants.
Yeah.
So it wants access to all of your financial stuff. It wants access to your location history. Because you know that when you buy it with WeChat and stuff, it needs the location history as well.
It does.
Because when you
need all your permissions on.
Yeah. When you make a purchase, it makes sure you're at that shop or whatever. So, you literally give away all of your rights to privacy when you use just WeChat. Never mind just anything on the internet in China.
Right.
You know what I mean? They're like, get a 10-cent discount on this. Just give us your whole family history. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I do.